Hi, Oliver. Thank you for this invite. Thank you for this opportunity to show you how I can use and leverage the 200 plus 5-star ratings and expensive mistakes I learned over the years, especially the work I did for solid lift parts with the hundreds of revenue focus and ROI focus writing, SEO writing, making sure that the articles and the products here are not only being described that the target audience will relate to, but will also be making Google happy with the right SEO keywords. So let's dive right in. For digital marketing expert for B2B, for this one, the first thing that I would do is create a roadmap, a digital marketing strategy roadmap, something like this, which is a similar work, but this one is from Australia. I think this one is based. You mentioned about being in New Zealand, but this one is this in Australia? But anyway, there might be a correlation there, and this is a related construction or in the business of now this one's not really construction, but sort of related in the same industry that I did. So the point here is we create a strategy like this by analyzing the really urgent pain points here. And what I'm seeing here using the first audit that I use, sample audit, is this one. These are problems, but we have to be applying the Pareto principle, which is 80% of the returns or the impact only comes from 20% of the results. So we will check if these are priority, and we will check if this requires immediate attention or not. But if not, then we would be considering the other priorities. Right now, we are seeing unique visitors of 1,000 visits, and this is the data that I would be elaborating. There's not much data here. So again, in the first strategy, what I would do is create benchmarks that this is where we are coming from. Now, after 1 month of campaign, we will measure, because we don't want to be draining money, bleeding money. So we would be checking what's the improvement, and then set the benchmarks there and create a KPI, which is the most realistic target and the highest and most optimistic targets for that. So that's a similar approach I did for my other clients, especially this one. And the articles, as you can see here, I've written hundreds already for the client's website. Me and my team, I led the content writing article here, but wrote it myself first, create the pillars, create the foundations, and then create a video recording how it can be done. And then to scale up the company and the output, I then delegate that to the team members, the fellow writers. So you can consider that as the digital marketing consult, or maybe the head. I would be happy to assist your team of writers, or just one or two writers in expediting and speeding up this area here. And let me proceed. So there's that. I am also seeing that the keywords, we need to be looking into the keywords where we should be tracking. Another thing that I can do in this, that I'll be writing in the strategy, is competitor analysis. What is your immediate competitors doing, and how do you, and what are their target audience? Who are if this is B2B, so what are the target businesses that really needs this solution? So creating a strategy there would definitely help. And one thing I also noticed, this is just like a quick observation, is the content and copy is there, all the foundations are there, but it would be helpful too to use this framework that it's been tested. You might want to explore this. It's been tested by the biggest companies on how to reframe the wordings, that it's all about you. It's less about us as a company, it's less about Huddleston, but how does it gives how does it give the solutions? How does it solve the immediate pain points and really annoying, and that's the roadblocks of your target clients? So it's more of you, less of we. And then that can really dramatically increase, as the case studies, hundreds of case studies would testify here. So that's what I did with this client too. I made them this how do you make $100 million offer with a framework that makes it easy for your target business. This is B2B to seriously get hold of what you offer now. Like, the urgency should be there. So a good strategy in reframing that, what's the being used by, without being too salesy, because being too salesy is not gonna work. So the copy would also be it's actually stable and solid right now, but that might be something that can be improved too later. So we're done with that. And designing and managing website tasks, again, we can create a system. I'd be happy to show you some of the systems I did. Social media, that's what I did here in the client strategy. Down below, there's lead generation part, and then there's the what are the formulas. I have a recipes of 100, so you don't have to watch hundreds of hours, and that saves you money and time with your team. So I can create from my playbook, from my 200 plus 5 stars, what I've learned from them and the expensive mistakes, and I put that here. So we can create a network effect that leading to your website and the services to be the only authority that will that your target businesses will choose. So that's the next one for this one. And then all in all, we create a system here. We analyze that, and then we create a sort of system, a B2B digital marketing strategy that is using the Pareto principle, which is like I said, it's the best returns and the impact. 80% of the best returns and the impact only comes from the 20% of the digital marketing efforts. So we save money there, we save time. It's a brilliant strategy being used by stock market investors and traders. So when we do SEO SM strategy, we neglect this. There's a million things that you can do and that drains money. But if you focus on the SEO SEM strategy, or search engine optimization and search engine marketing strategy, with high impact areas such as targeting high-end intent, low competition keywords, conduct competitor keyword analysis, optimize the website pages, then identify the what drives the kind of content that drives your competitors' pages, that drives qualified traffic, and that increasing the conversion rates. So when we identify using Pareto principle, we only focus on the 20% that really drives results. So in this case, usually it's on-page optimization, then paid advertising, and then another thing would be content marketing. How can we leverage? We can create content, the use cases for businesses. Why is this particular leak detection? Put that in a bullet points, and really engaging ones, like in a check mark, so that your B2B, because that's sales, the acquisition managers maybe of this one will choose you. So we have to put that there. What's the actually, you know, the industry knowledge here, then you know what works, what's the exact, and I can also research, my team can research what are the pain points, the actual pain points, and then I'll show it to you if it's actually the pain point here. So something like that, we always put that so that the target audience, I believe, who is the businesses or the businesses that might take advantage of your service or your products. Probably it's the agents, I guess. So those agents are responsible for talking to their upper management or their CEOs that we should be acquiring lots of this and not the other supplier. So that is, we need to make this as impactful as possible, strategic content there to leverage, to establish, the impact here is to establish you as the brand authority and to nurture B2B relationships. We need to develop a content calendar targeting decision makers of other businesses that to pick you So that's where the strategy I made of the $100 million offer by Alex Hormizzi and the other industry lead books, because I've read and executed the principles from hundreds of business and strategic books and sales and psychology and ad psychology, from caller psychology to creating a grand slam offer that they will be too silly to refuse. So you have here an example. The old commoditized strategy is for 1K we give you this product, for we guarantee, this one's for social media, but for you it's we guarantee that our products are high quality and they're cheap. So versus a grand sum offer, we make it as specific as possible. Only maybe in your case, this one is not in the construction materials industry, but the principle here is the same. From this one, like for example, this one is in the marketing industry that I did in the the example here is for marketing, and then from here it's just this promise for $1,000 an ad spend of an ad spend of 10,000, we can guarantee 3,000 views. But we make it something, a grand sum offer like this, we make it as specific possible, then it's going to be outstanding and really specific, that your target audience or target key decision makers will really decide that, oh, this is the best, this is the high authority, and this is the only one that we should get as a company. So there's that's gonna be included in the B2B strategy. And then Pareto principle, I don't know if I mentioned I already mentioned about the Pareto principle, but you can just check it out online. And then, but that's it. With content marketing, social media management, we also still use the Pareto principle. Maybe the priority here is targeting the LinkedIn decision makers from big businesses that are in LinkedIn. So maybe we focus our social media on LinkedIn priority, and we optimize company profile, run sponsored content on campaigns, engage with industry groups, share thought leadership pieces. What else? Focus on LinkedIn and Twitter for B2B visibility. And so that's one thing that can be done too, if this were my project, if I will be leading this project. So, and then another thing is conversion rate optimization. I mentioned this is we start with a benchmark before we work with this. Before we start, we create benchmarks, and then we assess what's the landing page optimization score, how are the converting pages performing, and then we do A/B testing. We the funnels that we create, if there will be a need, we focus on the high ticket, like what I believe 80% of the revenue from Huddleston probably comes from 20% of the product. So we identify those high ticket, like high generating products, and then we market that and we put that in the funnels, and then we put all the effort there, because that's where the revenue highly comes from. So data-driven insights, we set up the analytics, so we create those benchmarks, and then there's monthly performance reviews. What else? So that's that, and then we fix this, we put that in, we analyze what's the growth. We can see here, so that there's transparency and accountability on my end, that every penny you spend is tracked, if it's really worth it and it's not bleeding money. And that's the accountability promise that I have, along with the 200 plus 5-star reviews. So the integrity and accountability there hopefully is manifested. And then there's the audit. I can also find the initial audit. This can be elaborated once we start. Is I can put this in a document in the strategy. We see here that you already rank for these. Your position for this is 98. Now we benchmark this. What happens if we do a campaign with me for 1 month? What's your position for this keyword now? So those are the ways that gives you confidence that you're in the right track, and that also gives me the incentive to always be accountable, and gives me that I can't just make anything, because you can do millions of strategies, but without accountability. So I only have to focus the right ones. Otherwise, a project doesn't continue, and the business is negative on my end. So I lose a business there. So I will elaborate on this. There's a lot of data here, and that's what I believe where my edge is that we will never be overwhelmed by too much information. There's too much noise out there, so we really just use the filter, which is the Pareto principle, to find out which of these really needs the attention. 80% of the impact, the changes that will grow the business, only comes from 20% of everything from here, from the other strategies, from the kind of words that we use, only comes from 20%. I have to find that out here with elaborated, with an in-depth analysis of the work, the strategy. So there's that. And then, yeah, so to conclude, just to wrap it up, focusing on these high impact areas will maximize ROI, right? And make sure that the tasks here are measured. That's the priority there. And accelerate growth. 4x plus growth is what I'm always trying to offer to the clients, and I'd love to be accountable to that. So focusing on these high impact areas requires continuous performance tracking and agile adjustments that will ensure sustained success in B2B digital marketing. So for the SEO plan, you already have an idea there on the technical SEO audit. I'd be happy to create a document for this, a roadmap, and if it makes sense to you on this certain milestone, then just to establish trust, we'll start with a small contract, and then if it makes sense to you, we grow the milestone investment a little bit bigger because the trust is growing. And then, yeah, that's how we make sure that the business is not gonna be risking too much. It's strategic risk. I'm trusting a B2B expert who probably might just not be a real expert. So we have to test. I really have to be accountable and to be tested that whatever I say is what it really can deliver. So let me know if there's any particular thing that you want to elaborate and to expand on, and I can't wait, and I'm excited because this is my passion, this is my purpose, and I'd be happy to be part of the success and more success and impact of Huddleston. Thank you again, Oliver, and have a great one.